It's really loud, but that is a grind and grow. That's a grind and grow. Everything that's there, grind it up, run chickens across it, plant food. That's a grind and grow. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hey everybody, Matt with TheLowCashHomestead. So it's been pretty cold. I mean, like actual freezing temperatures the last couple of days. But warmed up today. It's in the mid 50s and we got a lot of work done today. So I'm gonna flip this thing around. We'll show you some of the stuff we got done. Hey, there's our lettuce, our red Aztec that was in there. Didn't withstand the frost, but our lettuce did just fine. Also, our New Zealand spinach and our Bloomsdale is doing just fine. One of the things that we did today was we went and stubbed out a bunch of our peppers and transplanted them over here. This is a little bit of an experiment. I have a feeling that will fail, but those are some husky red cherry tomatoes that were still in decent condition. Well, not really. They were frosted on, but they weren't frozen. And so we just put those in there. We stubbed all of these out, put a little Epsom salt, a little bit of worm castings, and then we had stirred some Job's Organic into the soil the other day. We have some peppers here, and then I still have to stub out that box of peppers. But let's talk about some other stuff. So we got all those plants out. The ground in here is cleaned. We did a grind and grow in here. So basically, there was a lot of comfrey here. We dug up a bunch of it, and then we did a grind and grow on the rest. Get that? All right, over here, we did a grind and grow, which is basically we just took the weed eater, ground the top layers off of everything, and then we're going to cover this. I got some cardboard left from the boxes that this high tunnel came in, and we're going to put that down. And also, but we're also going to drag chickens through that. Speaking of that, we got the chickens inside the greenhouse today. So there's our Cornish cross. And we got this whole area ground out. And they're going to clean and ground prep this area for me. And then, although this cage is in backwards, it should do just fine. These are our Rhode Islands. And they're going to be grinding. You can see they've already started scratching down through the stuff, so that should be good. And then our Wyandottes are over there, and I forget what type of Wyandotte. But so we basically did a grind and grow here. I'm going to cardboard this, cover it with cedar mulch. We're going to start cedar mulching through a lot of this ground and in between the boxes and everything like that. Get stuff ready. We also put our cheapo greenhouse has returned. We put it on a tarp. We're going to try and starve out that part of the ground there. There was a bunch of stuff growing there. And I've got another tarp that will stretch that way. Probably we're going to see how far we get on the cardboard. But we put the cheapo greenhouse back up. And inside the cheapo greenhouse is our dragon fruits. So we're going to do everything we can to keep those dragon fruits alive outside without them being in a garage or whatever. The good news is the cheapo greenhouse is like a 10 by 7, so it's not very huge. So if I need to put a heater in there, then I still can, without trying to heat this entire tunnel for just a couple of plants. A lot of our summer stuff, we're just gonna let it frost out. And then we have our Danvers half-longs. We got those thinned the other day. I still need to chop that down. We did not get that done. And then this box here, we're gonna clean this box and get it ready for some other crops. And then you can see here where we took all of the peppers out. We still got some tomatoes that are doing good in there. And then same thing here. And if you look, man, I've got yellow pears and super sweets all over, to the point I can't even eat them fast enough. They're just dropping. And then we're going to clean this one out most likely as well. Although I still got yellow pears in here that are doing fantastic. I'm going to have a little snack on those. And some of these little ones survived the temperatures last night. So Again, here, grind and grow. Grind it all down. We're going to mulch it in with all that cedar that I have and go from there. And we have to build out this part of the greenhouse here. As Matt with the Low Cash Homestead, thank you very much. Have a great day. I need to get, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I got. A bunch of garlic. Got delivered the other day. I don't have any more material to build the boxes out of. So I'm trying to figure out what I can use here to plant that garlic in. I might have to go get some materials and build a couple boxes. Who knows? Matt with Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
This was a bad idea.
Well, Daddy tipping it up like that was a bad idea, but it's okay. We got it figured out. Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Tonight we put together, three of my sons and I put together this little, it's kind of an NFT. It's not exactly an NFT system. I got this on Amazon for like $100. Would have cost me that much to buy all these parts and the pumps and everything anyway. So we just went ahead with it. There is these little net pots. So I read in one of the reviews that it helps put a couple clay pebbles down in there.
See?
So yeah, we're only going to put this just for demonstration, John.
Yeah, I'm showing you.
So that goes in there, and then there's a package. Hand me that package of sponges. That white package right there. Right? Good. And then it has these little sponges, and it came with a pair of tweezers, and you put your little lettuce seeds down in that little hole in the sponge goes in the net pot, and then you pump your nutrient through here. So we just put it together and tested it to make sure it worked and that it didn't leak, and it didn't really leak other than it overflowed in one spot, but that's, I think, the user error. You gonna put those back in the box for me, bud? Okay. And then another thing where I decided to try and pick it up prematurely and spilled some water all over the floor. So, but this will cite 108 heads of lettuce in this little rack here. So, at least according to the manufacturer, it will. So we're gonna give it a try. We put it together tonight. I'm gonna move it out to the garage for tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll get it out into the garage, get some into the greenhouse. Get some nutrient solution made, and I'm not going to test this with any of the stuff I got from Johnny's. I'm actually going to test this with some like giant Caesar and romaine and black seeded Simpson and different things like that. And we're going to test it that way. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Make sure they all get back in the box, okay, big boy? So this is Matt with Low Cash Homestead. I want to show you our little NFT setup that we got here for like $100, and we're going to try and get it set up in a greenhouse in the next few days. It's Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Hey everybody, it's Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Today, we're going to be planting some of these. This is elephant garlic. I got this on Amazon. What I didn't realize at the time, it's a organic grower, but what I didn't realize at the time is that this organic grower is located here in Missouri, so I got them pretty quick anyway. So we're going to plant them in one of our boxes, and let me switch the camera around, and I'll explain it a little bit better. Alright, sorry about the dog in the background. That dog never stops. It's really annoying. So this is a bed that we prepped. Actually prepped it for carrots, but we're going to do some interplanting. So along the drip tape there, I'm going to plant the carrots, and then along the drip tape, I'm going to plant the garlic. And then between the carrots, or between the drip tape, I'm going to plant carrots. So I may not get the carrots done today. Because it's pretty late in the day. I had a lot going on this morning. But we're going to put the garlic in. And I was going to cut this open and break them up. Basically, I just took a rake and cut a trench. Now, this is, I prepped this bed for carrots, so there's a lot of peat moss. Or actually, in this case, it's cocoa coir. In fact, I used up the rest of the cocoa coir I had on this. I used up the rest of the perlite that I had on this. So we're going to... and then I just topped it off with a bag of hummus and manure and a bag of topsoil. I'm kind of running, at this time of the year, I usually start running low on stuff. So I just used what I had. So I'm going to put this elephant garlic in there. And then, if I don't get it done today, we'll try to work on it tomorrow, although there's some other stuff going on tomorrow, to get a winter hardy variety of carrot in here that I got from Johnny's Seeds. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Today we're planting elephant garlic. So that's our first row, and I planted them pretty far apart because I want to give them, I'm a little bit concerned that they're maybe they're a little too close to the wood, so I kind of did space them out a little bit further as we went. But I planted them about a hand apart, so that's about 6 to 8 inches. So this first row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cloves of the elephant garlic, and that was 2.5 heads, and I ordered 6 heads because they were sold in pairs of 2. So I think maybe we're going to run down the other side next, and maybe we'll do the carrots in the middle. We'll run down the next piece of drip tape, which is right over there, and then we'll probably leave the middle for carrots. So we're going to cover this one up. I didn't figure I needed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you plant them point up. I leave the husk and everything on them when I plant garlic. If it falls off, it falls off. If it falls into the soil, it falls into the soil. I don't really worry about it. So I'm just going to rake that over and cover it. And then we're going to do that row there. To make my rows, I just use this hand cultivator. This is an Ames hand cultivator. This is a handy dandy tool. Even if you're doing raised bed gardening, it's fantastic. Now, this bed was prepped before, and I used the oscillator to get all the fertilizer and everything stirred down into it. And we're actually, I have it out here already, so we're going to go and sprinkle a little bit of Job's Organic on top of it before we cover it over. Actually, I think I'm going to put we're going to put a 10-10-10 fertilizer on this. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Job's Organic because I want that bacteria and beneficial fungi and everything that's in the Job's. But I'm going to put a 10-10-10 on it to get it going and make sure it has plenty to feed on over the winter. It's Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Okay, so the other day when I pruned and transplanted these peppers, I pulled some tomato vines out and was going to use them as ground cover, but it's wintertime. These aren't going to make it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pluck them back out. Those are going to be fodder. And what I'm going to do instead is, and heck, these peppers may not make it. I don't know. We're going to find out. But I'm going to pull those out. And we'll pull those out. Get rid of that too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a trench down the center. Oh, and this is what I was talking about, burying my seed heads. You know, I just kind of stick the seed head from the pepper down in the dirt. We'll see if they grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cultivator and cut a trench down the middle. And I'm going to put probably what's left of those garlics down in there. And we're going to see kind of what happens. I don't have drip tape here. So, you know, I'll have to water by hand with a sprinkler. We plan on expanding the drip tape setup, but I want to get the rest of the inside built, including all this space over here. And we have a tarp that we put our little cheapo greenhouse on. It's got my dragon fruits in it, trying to keep them alive outside, because it's a real pain in the ass to keep moving them in and out. And then we have our birds who are just, see, look at these Cornish cross right here. They're doing some good scratch clearing for me right now. And we're just going to move them around. I need to build a new watering system for them. Their watering system broke, and I want to build it just like the other bird houses where it has the bucket feeder on the bottom. Just haven't had time to it. Early the other day, and I got a little video clip. My buddy was over here, and he was helping me do a grind and grow. And this area had comfrey in it. And I dug a lot of that comfrey up. Comfrey is ridiculously difficult to kill. But I'm going to use all the cardboard boxes from the greenhouse and layer this and probably just cover it in yard debris and mulch or wood chips, and then we'll plant into that come spring. Okay, so I'm going to carve a trench in the pepper box right down the middle, and we'll put the rest of our garlics in there. We also stretched out the drip tape where we planted the garlics. And then between that, I'm going to fill that with, I believe it's an Adelaide, or I have to look at my notes. I wrote all the stuff down as far as what seasons grow where, or excuse me, which are winter hardy and can winter store, and all of that good stuff. So, and I believe it's the Adelaide, which is a true baby carrot, and we're going to interplant those between the drip tapes, and get a test batch out of those. All right, these are our Danvers half-longs, and even in this cooler temperatures, they're doing pretty well. There are some scraps in there because I came through with the scissors and pruned them off. I like them to get a little bit bigger and then prune them all off. And soon, since it's dead frost in here, we're going to start clearing out what's left of the Kentucky climbers. I do have one major comfrey plant here. I'm waiting for that to die back so I don't spread seed on it. And we're going to start cleaning out some of these boxes, excuse me, and getting some other stuff going in them. Had initially planned a fall garden because I was concentrating primarily on putting this up, and it may be late for some fall stuff, but spinach and New Zealand spinach are doing fantastic. Lettuces are doing great. I have a hydroponic lettuce setup that I just bought and built, and we're going to try and get that out here, although technically I'm not supposed to have it out here. But we're going to try and set that up over there as a testing procedure. We're going to quote-unquote testing procedure and see how well we do there. Our red Aztec that was left, it did finally really take off, and then the frost killed it. But this stuff is doing fantastic, these leaf lettuces. Oh, that's so good. Are really doing great. This is Matt with TheLowCashHomestead. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Okay, so you'll notice that's the rest of our elephant garlic, and you'll notice that it's only covered half the box. These are 3x9. Most of my boxes are 3x9. I have a couple that are 3x7. But I'm out of seed garlic, and it wasn't cheap. The seed garlic was not cheap. I looked around, and no matter what source I looked at, they were pretty much all the same. Within maybe $1 or so for whatever quantity that they were offering. So the elephant garlic seed heads or cloves, they weren't cheap. So I think maybe I'll get some more later and finish this off, or I'll put something else in there. And that's where we are today. It's starting to get dark, actually. With the time change. Ha ha ha! The time change. So milk that for the next couple days if you can. This is Matt with TheLowCashHomestead. Thank you very much. Have a great day.